Good morning. My name is Grace Roeder, and I'm sitting here in the Goosetown Schoolhouse, which is located at Hillhole Museum, part of the Orange County Parks program. And today I will be giving some information concerning the schoolhouse, and I welcome you to travel along with me. We are now in that one-room schoolhouse where we have the white walls that bring in a lot more light than the daylight comes through the windows. Now, in contrast to these white walls, we have the old blackboard. Did you notice that sound? Yes, it is a blackboard. It is a combination between the color black and a piece of wood, which is why it's called a board. Now, in contrast to that, on the other side of the room, we have a slate board, which actually writes clearer and erases better. But that has some information on it concerning the school. The school being built in 1870. It was the district number 6 here in Hamptonburgh. And it was in school from the 1870s, shortly after the Civil War period. We are now inside the Hillhole Museum, and we're going to visit the East Parlor. You can see on the wall there is a painting of young Sally, the youngest of their 12 children from Thomas and Mary Kerr Bull. Sally was the youngest of their 12 and the first child to have the distinction of being born right here on the homestead. Her portrait is over the desk of her father, Thomas. We also have a chair where Sarah might be sitting close to the fire, a wing-back chair that is going to protect her from the fire, and the shield that is next to it is going to protect her skin. There could be a spinning wheel there with flax on it. Flax would be then made into your threads so they could make some homespun linen material for their clothing and bedding. And moving in the center of the room, we have a fireplace, and then a swift, which is rather a unique piece made out of whale bones that's simply holding the yarn that's going to be then transformed into the material to make their clothing. On the table below, we have a tea chest with the price of the tea coming from such far away areas that the tea is under lock and key for when special guests come to visit. The doors behind us reveal that there's just a room that would have a closet for some of our candles and some of our supplies today. And moving across the room here, we have the blinds on the walls, on the window areas, and this is going to allow light to come in or to diffuse the light. Underneath, we have that very comfortable sofa. It's a camelback, and it's filled with your feathers right from the farm area. So this would be a very elegant place for people to come and visit. Welcome to the dining room area here at Hillhole Museum. On the outer wall, we have this round barrel-shaped closet that was containing that beautiful Canton china. It has shutters that can be closed over it when not in view. We will move over toward the fireplace. That clever idea that Benjamin Franklin had to make a metal insert so that a lot of the heat would stay in the room. This was their only heating system within this part of the house. We have a plate warmer right next to it that's going to conduct that heat so that those plates that were kept cold by the outer wall are now going to be warmed up before being served for the family meal. We have the rocking chairs, the one with the comb-back rocker, and then the Windsor chair to the north side. And going to the beautiful paneled wall, we're going to see another doorway in place of the window that's going to be extended to the modern kitchen that was added to the homestead in the early 1800s. The table would be set here in the middle of the room with the bamboo chairs that is going to reflect that Oriental design during that early 1800s timing. The carpeting on the floor, as well as the dishes, indicate the styling that had changed from the early 1800s period. We are now visiting the modern kitchen from the early 1800s. In this cupboard, we have some very special utensils that would be very modern for their timing. We have some molds for making butter, for making gelatins, a spice rack up on top. On the middle shelf there, we have a model of what might have been a more modern way of baking and cooking. And today they might be used by children as little playing toys with. We have a star shape there for making puddings for a very special occasion. Moving down one lower level, we have an actual waffle maker. And what's interesting about it, the 4 different sections are actually the 4 different symbols that would be used in playing in a deck of cards. How unique was that? We have rolling pins that are made of wood, as well as a ceramic one for doing certain cold pastries. I tell you, they had some really modern stuff here during this time. We have a mortar and a pestle for grinding some of our herbs. And on the lower level, we have wooden bowls that were used mainly for mixing some of their dough for their breads, and also for squeezing out the buttermilk when you made that fresh butter from your local farm cream. Right? So why would you come to the museum to see an old house built in 1769? How did people survive cold winters, long periods of when their food was not always granted from the garden area? Today, if you come to visit, you'll get an idea of what it was like to be with a family and to be raised in a home where 7 generations followed, and then we can give you the history of what it was like for family life on a farm in Orange County in 1769 to 1870.